Start here. The good news of Jesus the Christ begins with the words of the prophet Isaiah, tying this ancient text to the Word made flesh. Pay attention. Listen to what John the Baptizer says, because this is a step-by-step intervention. Heavenly and human tongues tethered, spirit and flesh in lockstep, making preparation for an undivided kingdom that is coming. Seen and unseen somehow are working together. But how do you prepare for such an arrival? I don't know, but let's clean up the road. I want to be sure every rock and pebble is lined up on the side of the road to cry out at your arrival, just in case your rock-headed people have nothing to say. The rock choir will be ready to belt out your praise. Let's walk together, as we'll need to cover a lot of ground to ensure that everything is smoothed out, one foot in front of the other as I cry out, "Make room! Prepare the way! There's a kingdom coming." I'm Reverend Starlette Thomas, Director of the Raceless Gospel Initiative at Good Faith Media and host of the Raceless Gospel podcast. The Advent season is here, and we're proclaiming, "Your kingdom come." It's a 4-episode Advent podcast series from us at Good Faith Media, and you're listening to Episode 2, Take Me to the Water. Get in line to pass along the message so that everyone is ready to receive the God who is not large and in charge, dressed in a designer suit and flanked by security guards, but swaddled up and needing to be carried by hand. We'll get the message out by word of mouth, not a business card placed in your hand. The kingdom is not a business or a part of a capitalist marketing plan of church as franchise and pastor as entrepreneur. We don't live to sell salvation plans or make deliverance deals. If this is what preachers are promising, then don't shake their hands. Instead, shake the dust off your feet, because that is not the way of Jesus. That's not a church, but a den of thieves. Warning. Listening to this message may cause you to lose your footing and your social position in the American empire. It may cause you to relate differently to persons you have been told were your enemies. It may cause you to walk heavy where you have been warned to tread lightly. But keep your ears open and repeat this message every 4 to 6 hours, or if symptoms of prejudice, hatred, and stereotyping reappear. In fact, there is a preacher up ahead. Listen to him. Dismiss the locust legs stuck in between his teeth. At least there is the smell of honey on his breath. Ignore his appearance. He's not making a fashion statement. Rather, John the Baptizer is making it plain and making a path. He's not doing this to make a name for himself or to put a notch on his belt. While delivering the message, he introduces himself as unworthy to tie Jesus' sandal. Still, he repeats himself like a broken record, like a song he can't get out of his head, like the words are stuffed in his mouth and he has to get them out lest he chokes on them. Give him some water. John is lining up his words and taking would-be believers to the water. A second creation narrative rippling through this story relayed to us in the Gospel of Mark. The Spirit is hovering, recreating us, born again to believe that we belong to each other, drawn from this womb water and renamed as sisters and brothers. In the beginning, we were a family, and we've got to get back to that. It's time to come home to ourselves and to each other. John starts with water because we have to get washed up before we can see the kingdom. We must get cleaned up after all the dust we've kicked up about the trivial and the superficial. We need to go down deep, dying to who we were never meant to be. That is strangers to ourselves and one another. So say it with me. Take me to the water. And just in time for the baptism of the Holy Spirit, which will prepare you for out-of-the-box living, because you won't need those where we're going. Grab a towel and get ready for I Got My Ticket, I'm Reverend Starlette Thomas, your Advent liturgist. Learn more about the kingdom that is coming and the Raceless Gospel Initiative at goodfaithmedia.org.